No awkward gestures then, eh? Ah, dear, what's that? So if I get this up on here and mute that, then I can see the chat. So, yeah, just thought I'd do a quick live. Just what we got, 35 past, so yeah, about 25 minutes or so. Not looking to do anything crazy. Yeah, just wanted to sort of like just point out that after yesterday's video where I'm literally even a hobby, I'm not actually even a hobbyist, just about how I feel at the minute, because it all just feels a bit sort of, it's getting on top of me a bit, which some people could call burnout. I'm choosing not to. Excuse me there, but yes, so to come on, just show I'm still alive, still kicking, and still trying to work out what to do. We'll be honest. So my biggest issue with the double O, I can show you, is this at the minute is the fiddle yard. This is it. Okay, and that will come out literally. It's going to come vertically down right in front of me here. It sits on top of some supports, and that's where it'd have to sit for the foreseeable. So sort of straight down from here. Okay, just showing you a few times as people join. Hello, by the way. So that's the issue with the double O, is every time I'd want to use it, I'd have to set that up. Every time that I wanted to stop use it, I'd have to take it away. Okay, that's not so bad. I mean, obviously the next bit is where do you store this? Because it won't just be a piece of track. Obviously, it'd be a proper, board underneath it of some sort, with its own supports to be at the right height to meet the board here. But it could go over there, maybe, or it could go even maybe on top of the track there, possibly. And that's all fine. I'm just trying to think of every angle on this. But you then got, set up, I'm using it, and then there's something comes up. I'm trying to think of something, there's something comes up, I need to access the computer, because the keyboard is also directly down here, the mouse is directly down there. So what do I do? Well, obviously it's got to come out of the way. That's fine, we can disconnect it, we've established that, we can disconnect that easily. But then if it's stored over here, it can't go, can it? Because there'll be trains there. Okay, it could be stored on there, could, temporarily, if it's an emergency of some sort, I need to access the computer, that comes off, and then the whole thing could go over there for a minute. That is a possibility. And this is why I wanted to stream it, because it's amazing. I don't know if anyone else finds this, but I find when I make videos or I stream, and it's probably ramble a bit sometimes, is I find that ideas come as I'm talking about it. So yes, it could go over there. So it could store next to me somehow. Still not keen on that. But it could store on top of the layout. Yeah, on top of the track. Providing it didn't interfere with scenery. That's the next issue. Is how do we ensure that it doesn't interfere with the scenery too much. Okay. Oh, wow. Well, it could go behind behind you, vertically, behind the monitor, it could stand, made the end strong enough, it could stand vertically, because obviously this will all be glued down. Stand vertically like that, behind the monitor. There's a flat space there, because I've got the monitor on arms now. You could stand there and out of the way. That would work, and it's not on the track then. Keeps that safe, keeps this safe. That would work. That would work. What do we think? Is the chat working? Let's do a test just to make sure. Is the Is the microphone working? Yes, it is. I came and started tapping. I'm not sure if I'll be using this track or not. I mean, Oak Hill, did I say why not? And it's only because of those turnouts, and the fact that obviously Anthony's told me that the larger Trix or Märklin turnouts are known to be not the best. And also, I still would be confused, even if they were any good, if I was using the good ones. It's still the thing about getting buildings to get to the right, to get the ground level to the right height. Because with my Kato track, I know some 3mm cork alongside raises any buildings that aren't from the Kato range up to the height required, but with this, not so sure. So yeah, so this isn't meant to be. This isn't a permanent track. I would like to do some proper track if I was to do the double O. Now, that's all well and good, but then we come to this. What we're doing now, we're streaming, aren't we? Well, I'm streaming, and it comes a case. Let's pop that down before I break it or do myself an injury. It then comes to streaming and the ability to watch the trains go by. So we did come up with, me and Oak yesterday, we came up with the idea of a shuttle. Nice squirrely pack. The day before. DCC shuttle, yeah. To have the train go back and forth, so I could just come in. I'd have to set the feeder yard up. That's one thing, I'd have to set the feeder yard up. And then the train could go back and forth in and out of the station. I'm hoping, does anyone know? Anyone in chat know, or watching the video later know whether the these DCC shuttles, do they keep the sound going? Or do they start automatically, or do you have to use the controller to say, okay, enable sound, right, now you've done that, set the shuttle going and it chuffs up and down, because that'd be cool to have. Yeah, so that's the thing, it would have to be set up to do that. And just knowing, I think how we all are sometimes when we come back from work and that is, sometimes you've not got the energy almost, you just want to turn it on and just watch it, just relax while you watch it. So what to do there? I don't mind turning the sound on, but it's the setting up the track and everything beforehand. And obviously the longest train I'm going to be able to run in is a 2-coach train on here. And this is where it's annoying with the TT stuff, because I've been given that taste of more, of continuous running, where it all works nicely, because it did work until it didn't. Most things do. I was willing to give it another chance. Obviously the other set's gone today, it's gone back today, but yeah, it's I was given that taste of continuous running, and I had ideas that came to mind, and so on. I mean, I will admit I've been thinking about this a lot today, and I did actually have a thought about TT earlier before the set went, but I took too long thinking about it, so it sort of forced my hand when the driver came to collect it. That could do London, not just London, it could do the LMS in the same way as I was going to do the LNR, because I found a TT120 3D printable brake van. And from there, okay, it's LMS, an LMS one. Okay, we've got the Duchess, brilliant. So I was thinking, well, 2 J50s coming out. Between now and J50 o'clock, perhaps I could learn the CAD stuff. And I don't know, I was thinking of something like a coal engine, you know, or if possible, the ever popular cauliflower, which I do still live in hope we might see one in ready to run in Double O at some point, in some form. It'd be one I'd get. If there was a cauliflower came out in Double O, even if I wasn't doing Double O, I'd get one. At least one, if not two, just because they're amazing. One in LMS probably, and one in LNW, to go with the LNW logo and LMS logos I've got as a collection. But yes, that idea did come to mind. But as I said, I took too long thinking about it. And this is partly because the LNER to me, I think I said yesterday, has always been express. I mean, Exhibit A. There's always been express trains. And yeah, you know, when I was younger, and I was going to do a branch line with the LNER, and it was going to be fine. I was going to try and do it in Double O, but I don't think I ever had quite the concept of space that's quite blatant in front of me right now. But yeah, you know, it's one of those. Now, I did try and DCC fit the B1 today. The chip worked. But it didn't work in the B1. I don't know how to explain that. So basically, I'll explain it as it was. So basically, if I had both halves of the B1, and I put one rail, one on the other rail, turn the power up on the controller, the motor span up. Put the two halves together, on the wheels, on the track, short. Okay. And I'd put insulation over all the wires, over the motor terminals, over everything I could find. Basically, I had an insulation over it. I had the pen light here who do the ASMR style, so just watch the light for me, watch the light. But yeah, so if that's the two halves of the chassis, I was doing that just to see where it was meeting. So obviously if I could see light, it was fine, and I couldn't spot anything there. And in the end, I'll admit, I got frustrated and I cut it out, because I've done a Pannier, I've done a Small Prairie, which were both split chassis, and okay, they were just on the verge of being split chassis and not, but the Pannier needed hard wiring. The little circuit board replacement trick I did on the Small Prairie didn't work on it. I thought, I've done this before, I know it works, and I thought this thing's just frustrating, I'll just leave it, but I couldn't get it back in the box with the chip as it was, so I just cut it out and put the engine away. Hello, Haunted Railway Jake. Greetings. Hope you're well. So it's just a quick one. I'm only looking to go till the hour, so about 11 minutes away. But just sort of go through a couple of things. So yeah, I did attempt to do the LNER. I mean, the LMS is in my mind because last year, operating actually this very setup as it is now, I had a lot of fun with the LMS. Obviously, the LMS is the local railway to me. Excellent to hear. Excellent to hear. LMS is the local railway. Um, I mean, the Great Central obviously came through the Midlands. The LMS literally, I mean, I'm not even joking. It's so local that basically you go out the front door, you go out that door, down the stairs, out the front door, across the road, and that row of houses, just at the back of that row of houses across the road, was a Midland Railway siding to a brickworks, and obviously would have been LMS later in its life. So, yeah, the LMS is literally on my doorstep, pretty much. I'm getting there. Thank you. Yes, I'm getting there. It's not the progress I'd like to be making with the the whole being signed off stuff, but it is about one step forward, three back. But getting there. I'm better than I would be otherwise. Definitely made the right call. But it'll be even better once I worked out what I'm doing with my trains. So yes, obviously, but again, continuous running on the LMS would be quite nice. You get some nice big coal trains. Obviously, I'd like to. Same. Oh, yeah. You trying to work out what to do with your trains, is it, or? Sorry. So which bit's the same? Sorry, I'm being a bit thick. my head's not working properly there. But yes, so like some trains there, and that could be cool. And what stops me doing LNER in N-Gauge, of course, is the fact that we don't have. Well, I don't have the faith in DAPL that I'd like to have. And obviously A4s. Okay, I don't even really want one A4. It'd be Mallard. But you need A3s, A1s and A3s. They run on the GCR. Obviously, you've got some other engines. You haven't got the GCR stalwarts like the 04. No D11s because obviously Union Mills is long gone. But yes, there are a few done by Farish, and Farish I've got a lot of faith in. Sonic models, I didn't have a fantastic experience with Sonic. It was a bit of a half and half. I might have just had a Duff Large Prairie, but then I understand it's working fine now, so whatever. Yeah. But the nice thing is I do trust Farish. And Farish do nearly all but the Iver 2MT tank, I think it is. Someone might be able to correct me there. But I think that's the only one that Farish don't do themselves. You want a great gathering, but they're hard to get a decent pair, not rubbish railroads. Oh yes, I understand your issue there. Yes. I mean the railroad ones can be upgraded. You can do them up. I don't know if it's the Glue and Glaze product. I think it is the one called Glue and Glaze, where you can, for the windows on the cab that are missing. I still can't believe they chose to omit that on the railroad version. That just seems ridiculous. But you can sort of, you dip your cocktail stick over in Glue and Glaze thing, then you run it round the edge of the window, then sort of draw it across, and it creates a film which hardens and goes clear. So it gives you the effect of a window. I saw a video of someone doing it in a Class 33 diesel. If you search up on YouTube, it should come up with something, hopefully. That's why I saw it. But no, yeah, so yeah, but they can be done apart. I see your problem there. Would the Backmans not be any good? I know there's meant to be a thing with the body shell, but I can't see it myself. Had a good look with the book in front of me, one of my A4 books in front of me. Railroad, it should be in the engine. All the railroad models should have moved to the engine. Yeah, that one up there's a tender drive. That's a tender drive, my lad. There, but yeah. So if it's railroad, it should be in the engine. Haven't found one yet. Ah, damn it. So which ones are you looking out for? Have you got any of the A4s yet, Jake? Or is it? Yeah. See, what do you want to do? Like a diorama around a turntable? I'm asking all sorts of questions here, aren't I? Sorry. You've got a tender drive one, yeah. So the back ones seem to go a little bit cheaper. And if you're only looking to do analog as well, you can get them cheaper still. It might be worth putting up with the slight body misshape, but I say I couldn't. You want them DCC and you've just got Mallard. Ah, so you've probably got the same era Mallard as this one here then. If it's the tender drive. Very good. Okay, yeah, I can see that. Well, I know. Yeah, Bachmann did do one that was 8-pin DCC ready. It might be worth looking around for those. I know that the TMC, not affiliated, but the TMC I think had some when I looked last week before. I don't think they're just BR ones, but then they're due for Dwight D. Eisenhower, and that's why you have them all in that linear livery. Is that the ultimate goal? So yes, so basically I'm at that choice again between do I do an N-gauge LMS layout or do I do a 001? I know. Building children as I was still at school at the time. Ah, right, got you. Right, so you've got like a little running line and the chance to line them all up. So, yeah, so definitely the BR ones. I know they had some BR ones for definite with the 8-pin sockets on them, and they'll be motor in the loco as well. I say I sat with one of my profile as the A4s book in front of me. I couldn't see the issue with it. They look like an A4 to me, but that's my perception, and you know, yours might differ. You might go, yeah, but I can see the fault and it's not right, and I can't help. And I totally get that. It would be nice to have them all ending on VR. Yes, I thought that. And you see, that's the other thing then. Would you do Dwight D. Eisenhower's Golden Shuttle? I think it was. Was it Golden Shuttle before it became Dwight? Soon tell you. We'll get that exact book. Ow. Oh yeah. Da-da-da. Yeah, not bothered what I have. Yeah. Well, in that case, I say if you're not bothered about the shape, I'd go for the Batman ones myself. If it, because you've got 8-pin. So to get the one that's 8-pin, you got your DCC. And if you become rich and famous in the future, you can always upgrade them to more flash models as and when. I mean, imagine having them all as the black label ones with all the smoke and everything. No, I don't know if they're any good. Golden Shuttle. It was Golden Shuttle. Yeah, so you'd have the option, because it was renamed in LNER Lyric Service. Probably missing its Valensis by then. 9th of September 1945 it was renamed. So it's probably missing its Valensis by then, but yeah, Golden Shuttle was its name beforehand. If you like your A4s, this is an absolutely cracking book to have. It literally takes you through every single one of them. Including a whole little section at the end on Gadwall, which is the one that was bombed at York. But it would be named Sir Ralph Wedgwood. Put steam motors in, yes, like you're thinking, ooh, that'd be cool, yes. That'd be cool. Yeah, so, but they're not cheap, those Dapol ones, and I'm not sure if they're not. I don't know if they're worth it or not. I've not looked into them too much, because I saw the price and went, yep, they're good, thanks. I'm good, thanks too. But, yes, so, obviously the benefits to me to doing N-gauge, if I could trust it, no. With the fact that everything apart from the I-2MT tank would be Farish, I've got a greater trust. And also I did ring Rails, and if I put an order in with them, they do have the facility to test, but you put the order in, then sort of basically immediately ring them and say, this is the order number, please can you test it before you send it out to me, just to make sure it works as it should. And that was really good to hear, because that gives me that peace of mind. Something I never ask of any of these Japanese ones, no matter if it's Kato or Tomix, Green Max, Micro Ace, even Micro Ace, they tend to work for a bit straight away. But yes, minimising the dapole interaction would be great. So what would the inspiration be? Well, I suppose it would be, it would be the various training films and things that I've seen, the various propaganda films that they are propaganda really, aren't they, for the LMS that they made back in the day. Maybe something on the variation of Men of the Footplate or something like that, or but obviously then the biggest benefits to doing that are, of course, that the locus there. Now, the only one I'm just thinking off the top of my head, the only one you wouldn't be able to get would be a Duchess. You'd be without a Duchess for your Top Link Express or Princess Royal. And I don't know that there is a big 460 beyond the Black 5 in N. There's the 462s, there's the Duchess is out, I know the Duchess is out there, but I think it's only the G-Streamline BR ones. I don't think they've done the as-built ones. Now, I think the easiest way to do it, though, it is fixable, is you just have to construct a curve piece for where the running board meets. So you've got the one here on top of the buffer beam in front of the smoke box, and you've got the one here along the side of the boiler. And I seem to remember that on the D-Streamlined ones there was just a gap there, but the as-built sort of had a curved piece like that filled the gap. So, in N, that shouldn't be too difficult to make. In theory, you just have to do some gentle bending, some plastic card or something. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, people, but so yeah, you could then do yourself a Duchess of Sutherland, Duchess of Athol. Yeah, I'm sure it was just like that. I don't book on them. I've got a book on London Midland Scottish Locos. I wonder if there's a picture in there. That's one I brought at Stat Fold a weekend ago. So let's have a look, see if there's any Duchesses in here. There is. Oh, beautiful, the best picture yet. The best picture for it. A D-Streamline one with a gap. And there is actually Duchess of Athol in the background with, you can see the curve piece. So that's literally the only difference, really, between the two that would need to be done. I mean, also you did it in BR era, you could just have them all. I don't think they did a Royal Scot. Let's have a look. I know they've done a Royal Scot, but again, I don't know if they've done a Royal Scot in LMS livery. Apparently I can't spell Royal. That's LMS 8F. Images. Well, they've done Royal Scot herself as preserved, which isn't even Royal Scot anyway. Is it Scots Dragoon? I think that one. I think that was Scots Dragoon. So yes, they haven't done. Oh no, they have. They have. They have done. Not in recent time then, because that's an older one. That's interesting. 5190. What's that? Royal Scot and a back 5. Oh no, they did. They did do one in Ivet Black. They did one in Ivet Black. Does it tell you when they were made? 2009. The tooling. But they did make Scott Scarsman with smoke deflectors in Ivet Lime Black. So, hello to the highballing hogger! How are you, sir? So, yes, so obviously if I could track down one of those, then that's one passenger 460, it's a 3-cylinder passenger 460. Obviously there's the ability to try and find there's some on eBay already. Scott Scarsman on eBay. Yeah, so they're about for sale. Cool stuff. Like I say, I am slowly making progress. 1 step forward, 3 back, and all that. Yeah, slowly trundling along, I suppose. Yes, the Duchess would be a total repaint job though, just for fun. So, yes, but also the extra work has to be done to that as well. But at least we could get a Royal Scot for now. It'd be nice to think that someone would turn around and do Jubilees, Princess Royals, actual LMS Duchesses, and streamlined Princess Coronations. Hello, Jake. Welcome. How are you? Oh, wow, everyone's coming in. I'm 6 minutes over where I said I'd finish. Cool. But I'll carry on a little bit longer then. Yeah. Whereas also in AA you can get all these and more. Good might be last stream under this username. Watch your space. Oh, very good. Having a rethink, are you? Okay, so obviously for those who are just joining us, the fiddle yard would have to come down and across. Basically just down, straight down there, across the computer table, computer desk, my desk. So if I need the desk for whatever reason, it makes it very hard to use, I'd have to find somewhere to store it. Came up with an idea, well, in that case I could put it over there. It could store behind the monitor here. Yes, 2 Jakes. This is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them. Personality is name. Ah, excellent. Yeah, you're going all out with SCCR there, I tell you. Wanted to say that. So say no. Oh no, I think that's good. But so yes, that's basically, and also then it'd be a case of oh, 4 Jakes, yes. Blimey, made the call for a cup of tea quite easy though. Might have 3 by the end of the year. 3 watts. Camels? Hippopotamuses? Layouts. Ah, alright. Interesting. So yes, obviously I'd have to set this up and take it down every single time. Just going over the benefits of it, because basically just inspired by the LMS, I suppose. Would be the basis of the layout. It not be inspired by any particular main line or anything like that. Just a general feel. I love how I was saying this with an L and ER hat on. SECR dock, swear word, and your loft layout. Oh, very good. Have you built that wagon kit yet? I meant to ask you the other weekend. Because you brought it up. But yeah, and obviously then in N-Gage there'll be none of this to mess about with. it just all be there. Now the downside's been, of course, that I have tried Engage a few times before. I have contacted Rails. They have said that if I was to ring them after putting orders in, they could test locos for me before being sent out. Yeah, basically that's where we are. So yes, so obviously I would hope that Princess Royals and an LMS condition Duchess would be in the offing at some point. That one is there's two 3-letter words there. In Engage though, it'd be nice to see Princess Royals and Jubilees as well. Seeing as I think the last Jubilee really was the Pico one. I don't know, did Farish do one since then? But obviously, if I was to choose to do it in Double O, then there's many more locos available. You get the L&Ws that have been done. You get the Coal Tank, the Super D, and the Improved Precedent, which I've got one of. I've got an LNWR livery one, which will stay LNWR livery. That one is never going to change. Yeah. So basically, now there's a few more people in, I'll ask. So what do we think? So it won't be this track. It's going to be Pico track, and it'll be on a proper board. Yeah. So fiddle yard that goes in here. If I should need to use this, just move it away, up. It can go sit on there for a minute, just while I need to use this, or use the desk. So I'm thinking, it might even be like, oh, hang a minute. I've got it set up of a Friday evening, and Saturday I go to a train show. And I come back with a train, I need to put a chip in it, I need to put a DCC decoder in it. Well, I need to move this out of the way while I do that. Quickly. Gooby. Oh, so it needs to go somewhere, doesn't it? So, not necessarily I need to use a computer, but that comes out of the way, goes over there, stores. Obviously it'll have a proper supported board underneath it. So that goes over there, and then just comes back when I'm ready. But then when I'm not using it, I was thinking about having it with a decent, basically have a decent bit under there. It's going to be, this actually isn't long enough. There's one missing. There we go. But yes, have a decent end underneath it. So then it just goes the other side of the monitor, just behind there on the flat of the desk. What do we think of that? Do we see any potential issues with that as an idea? Those two fixes. Go! Yes, those swear words, those 2 3-letter ones. Can you use terminal block ones to bring away wiring is for that? Yes, indeed, can do that. Because I've got about 5 or 6 need DCC and 2 of them need hard wiring. Yes. Now I'll say I did try hard wiring the B1 yesterday, but it wouldn't have it. The chip is here. With just the needed cables available. And you see, if I was going to do, again, if I did double O, I've got City of Birmingham in there. That could go straight into City of Birmingham today. Could do it tonight. No problem at all. So, I've got a Streamline Coronation. I've got 3 DCC decoders, one for my swear word 37, well, it should also be the swear word. One for my blue HST, will allow that. One spare, and a spare. I've got 5 or 6 things that could go into. That sounds good. So that sounds okay. Okay. And I know ultimately I've got to make the call. I've got to make the decision. I get that entirely. But what do we think as well to that versus the Engage? Jake says go double O. Well, Haunted Railway Jake says go double O. Yeah. Do we think one's got what? Do we think the basically? I suppose that's what it comes down to, doesn't it? More variety of engines outweighs the ability to have a continuous run. I mean, I will be getting a space in the future, which is guaranteed it will happen. Just when, I can't bank on. Now, separately, those words are all, you know, the English, Welsh, and Scottish. Those words are fine on their own. Railways is fine. Traction is fine, I suppose. Maintenance, that's fine. Depot, that's fine too. But put them together is just weird. Yeah, so, you know, obviously, do we think? Are you sure, Jake? I'll call you Jake if you like. Missed half of this. So basically, Jake, to fill you in, yes, okay, I might do that. I might call you Jake. If that's okay, I'll do that. Thank you. So, Jake, to fill you in quickly, basically, you know where I was yesterday. I'm now trying to sort it out. So, obviously, my taste of continuous running has given me a vibe for it. LNER to me is express. It's making it quite clear with the failed fitting of the B1 earlier on today that it seemed to me making itself quite clear it didn't want me to do it. Yes. Whilst waiting for the UPS guy to come and collect the parcel, which had the Scotsman set in it, which I never got out of its parcel, let alone the box. I never actually saw it. I did have an idea for a TT LMS layout because I found a 3D printable brake van in TT120, which is very cool. You have to go and buy the STL file that you can print it. And that would have incurred an extra cost as I approach my good friend to say, who's got a 3D printer, say, do you mind how much to print this off, mate? But that would have been doable because the Stanier coaches are in stock, obviously the Dutch is available, and then it would have been a case of trying to do something on the J50 chassis. Keep those two J50s in order and you know, get them and say just try to do something on their chassis. Whether I learned to cab myself and was able to do an L&W loco to go on them, who knows. But obviously I took so much time thinking about that, mulling it over in my head, that the bloke arrived and the set went, so moot. But also did see that some of those things were available in N. Obviously you got Black 5s, you got the Ginty, you got the 4F, you've got the Ivot 2MT tender engine. There's an 8F as well out there. There's Royal Scots with established nights out there. And you've got, and obviously the Duchess, which will need a total repaint to become an LMS one, and also adding the curved add the curved pieces to the front of the Duchess to make it right for an LMS built one, unstreamlined. And just hope that someone brings out Princess Royals, Jubilees, actual MS Duchesses, maybe a streamlined Coro, Princess Coro as well in N. But yeah, so it's that versus an end-to-end layout which I have to set up and take apart every time, but the variety of locomotives rolling stock's more. So now you're in the picture more, do you still say double O? There we are. Note to self, don't let you know where the bleep bleep is going to shows. Oh, that's not fair, you're going to surprise me with them then. I've done both double and double O, I'm more double O, had them when I was 12, 13, so like that, yeah. I mean, being honest, Jacob, I sold my Engage, all of it. All of my UK Engage, apart from the two locos that, if the Highboy and Hog are still here, but the two locos sat in the box behind me here, they're meant to be coming to him. The only Engage I've got is all this Japanese stuff behind me, which is amazing stuff. And I, you know, if I was happy, I don't know how to say it. If I was happy with it, I am happy with it. But if I was all settled and everything with that, I would just be running it. I wouldn't be even doing a British layout. But the thing is, I really want to do a British layout now. I've it's taken that, I guess, to restore. You know, I keep pointing to Malon. Tell you what, if I'm doing LMS, that needs to come down. There we go. Down. The king is dead. Long live the king. Probably dead. No. And if anything's happened to Charlie Boy in the past 5 minutes, and nothing to do with me. But yes, this stuff has all been wonderful. But if I was happy with it, then you know, I'd be running it. And yeah. You know. But yeah, so it is variety. If we think that that setup is going to work, I suppose all it means is if I come back from work, I want to see something run, because I'm really into that shuttle idea. I really want to say something like, go on, you can, Jacob, you can, go for it. I won't tell you off. We're fairly liberal-minded here. Oh dear, what have I unleashed? Yeah, it was you know, it was a DCC shuttle, which obviously me and Gary came up with. And then I know yay, that's what I was going to say. What with the king is dead, long live the king. Yes, I take it. But yeah, no, that's no problem. No worries there. Yeah, and then a shuttle unit. Long live the Queen Elizabeth. Ooh, ooh, yes. Is that the carrier? The aircraft carrier on about? No, or our past moniker, or is it Queen Elizabeth I? It's not quite possible. It would be, but being a desk, it's like a desk. There's stuff all over it. I mean, there's no empty crisp packets or anything like that. I mean, I can't eat crisps at the minute anyway, so, you know. Fair play. Fair play. Yeah, I said for years, was the last one I had any time for. It was only when I heard about why Charles set up the Prince's Trust. And he got it that not everyone was academic, and there was a need for vocational skills. And I thought, if he can get it, why can't the education system? You know, that would have helped me a lot. But yeah, that was the only thing that changed my mind, and on him a bit, I softened on him a bit. And also, he's a train nerd. He can drive steam engines as well, so you know. Also, I've been trying to ignore it, but the stream is mirrored. You can have to ignore it. There's nothing I can do about it on here, I'm afraid. I'd have to use the other camera facing the other way. I suppose I could. Right, alright, okay. You're going to get to see a pannier up close. But then I'm going to put your fingers over it while I turn you around. I don't know if it's going to stay there. What's that like? That looks very precarious. If you suddenly take a dive off there, that's not my doing. If I can. It's going to be even more funny when I try and turn the stream off. If you promise to sit still there, we'll all be good. But yeah, no, I can't see myself under there. That's better. I can't see my own face. Hey. So yeah. Okay. Okay. So we think 00. Not a fan of the GWR that Paddy was cute. I'll always love the Great Western. Always love the Great Western. I can't. It's like Mallard. Even if I don't like the LNER as a whole, Mallard always gets a free pass with me. I sat in it once for my 5th birthday. I mean, it leaves an impression. But oh, I'm glad. Yeah, don't go as a bootering off the back of the monitor though. Yeah, so SQCL Era 2 unless Bluebell is on in Era 11. Will be full GCC, the points a lot, and experiment for doing points one off now. Fair play, sounds fun. Yes, I'd like to have everything hands-free as possible. If I'm going to do double O, I want it all to be hands-free as possible, so uncoupling points and, you know, where I can do it all either from the controller or it's just, you know, if I'm using tension locks, I've maybe uncoupling ramps and stuff like that. So I'd like it to be, I can just sit in one place, maybe up this end with the fiddle yard and just run the trains, you know, without having to move much. That'd be the goal. But yeah, and obviously there's no reason why this layout couldn't be done in with LNER. There's no reason why this couldn't be done with LNER. You know, yes, I've been put off a bit by the fact that B1 didn't want to accept a chip today. That hurt. I've tried so hard. But yeah, it's not helped by the fact I think I've got perhaps the most boring coaches. Apologies to any hardcore Thompson fans out there, but I think I've got the most boring coaches that the LNER ever ran. I mean, I've actually put a pin wash in that just to bring out the door detail, just to try and help them a bit. I mean, the models are fine. Yeah, they look like, you know, they're trying, but they look like Thompson coaches. They're not quite as refined, obviously, as the new Batmans, but they work. You know, I say there's no real reason why it couldn't be done at LNER. Let's have a look here. So went on. I love the O-gauge pannier, so much detail. Yes, there is. It's a gorgeous model. That's why it's going to stay with me because it's just wonderful. I think I might try and get a little rolling road set up with the power source so I can watch it go around. Watch it go around. It'd be cool to actually have two, one with the pannier, one with the Terrier on. Test concludes stuff like Arduino controlled servers with points, and I might do doors on the warehouse as well. Very cool. Went to Mallard in 2012 at the Great Gathering. Very cool. Oh, saying, well, I would do it when I turned 5, which would have been in 1994. And how would you know? The Loft is using my controller, but the SECR will be phone control. Fair play. Is that with HM7000 or some other system use that Zimo? So is that Z21 or something like that? Arduino can do 12 servers, which can do a couple of some points if you work it out properly. Personally despise the design of coach. You know, the metal body ones look better than teak ones, but the teak ones look so bland compared to the grocery. Is that just me? Yeah. When the Thompsons got painted in crimson and green or maroon, they looked super. They looked absolutely super. Or the Taurus livery, you know, the cream and green that the LNER used, they look super. But the painted on teak effect just looks awful. I think they're not as nice as the Grizzly VO. However, these models don't quite do the real ones justice in teak. They do look a bit better than this. So it's got to be said. But yeah. 2012 means I would have been 6. Oh, little Jake. That's both of you, I think, are probably about the same sort of age, I'm guessing. And maybe Jacob's a little bit older. DCC ++X. Okay, fair play. Yeah. I mean, again, you're older. Yeah, so you're a bit older then. So you were up in the school leagues at the Great Gathering or Great Goodbye at Shildon then. That's not bad for a system. That's not bad for a GCC system. Fair play, fair play. Yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be LMS, but it could be LNER. Obviously, I've got a lot of Autumn Crimson Crew might know a place setting a full raid. Too modern for my layouts. Shame to do it. You're 11 at the time. Oh wow. I was a year or so into my first job, which is the one I still got now. At Great Gathering. Yeah, we didn't do Mallard. We only did Snodder Grizzly. I still want to know why. I don't understand. I can't remember. I know there was a reason at the time or something, but yeah, Dominion Calendar and Dwight Eisenhower might have been ideas to do, seeing as they're not in the country anymore. But yeah, we did Snodder Grizzly. Weird. But yes, I guess I'd be put off by B1, and you know, I can take a hint. Yeah. Again, I'll throw it out to the floor. Do you guys anyone have any opinions, LNER versus LMS? I mean, going back to the Great Western, like I say, I'll always love it. But the trouble is with the GWR, the reason why I love it is because they all look alike. The problem with it is they all look alike. You know, I put a hall and a manor out on here again earlier as well, and I thought, just have a look, just double check, and yeah, you can see they're physically different. You can't see that one's smaller than the other, physically smaller than the other, but it's just like it's the same engine. It's the same engine. Yeah. No, it seems like I wasn't sure about streaming time. It seems like it's a good move because you know my mood's been lifted for a start. So thank you both, and everyone else that's in the chat. Let's talk to me. And we're making progress. We're making what I feel is some real progress. I was 10 or 11, so oh wow, brilliant. Yeah. One of them I can't remember. All blurs into one after the. It's my. I heard it on a Monoroe video. I can't remember the chap's name. You start to forget the centuries when you get to my age, and I never identified with that phrase so quickly. But yeah. So no one's got any strong feelings about the LMS or LNER then. It's good to know. Good to know. We need to be as open-minded as possible. You know, it's so we think 00 definite. That's something. That's one box ticked. It's the trouble though. Once I start thinking 00, I think about what I've already got, I guess. And I do have a decent LMS collection. You were surprised at how much LNER I've got, Jake. You went to see the LMS come out. There's a Princess Coro. 1F, Fairbairn Tank, 4F, Super D, Coal Tank, Hardwick, which I would include, but I'm thinking if Hardwick can run a bit like the LNER used to run the Sterling single. Like a Sundays only train sort of thing. Is that what I've got? Yeah, it's got Super D, which will need a repaint, and that's easy enough to do. Technically, the 04 could end up being LMS because the next LWR one. So yeah, so I've got about 7 or 8. You love LMS and linear. Yes, it does, because I just started my GCSEs and art teacher wanted to start. Oh, you got to start your art GCSE early. It's quite a big course, that one, though, isn't it? The old art GCSE. There's a lot to be done in it, so if you can start it early, I think it's a good move, isn't it? I remember someone in my class at school that started early art GCSE. For some reason, they got sat next to me, and I wasn't bad at art, but this person didn't like me. They were starting early, and if I breathed near the table, I was wobbling it apparently. So okay. But yeah, the odd things that happen at school, eh? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a decent. Obviously, I'd have to start again pretty much with the LNER collection. I've only got one loco that's DCC fitted, and that's my 04. I do tend to call the ROD 280 just because it's an XRD one as opposed to an actual built 04. I've got I-2 tank times 2, I've got 4, Princess Royal, Princess Coronation Ginty, that's 6, all but 1 DCC. Very good, very good. Yeah. I think it just comes. I think the trouble with the LNER, like I said before, I think it comes back to that thing of expresses. But then when I was younger, as I say, I was happy to try and do a LNER based layout. True, I talked to one of my other friends. He's LNER mad, so he'll just try and say LNER straight away. It's like, can't really come to you for advice because what you think, because yeah, I mean, we do have green arrows out here, but apparently it's no use trying to DCC this one. But apparently, even under analog, they slowly pull themselves apart, which is less than ideal. So the body shell feels really loose on this. Just get a screwdriver in there and try and tighten it up a bit. There's the. It's not the one. That's the one. That's a bit better. It's still not great. But yes. So apparently there's no point trying to DCC fit that one. Yeah. Go figure. So yeah. If you're at the club this time last year, you wouldn't have talked to anyone about the junior railway. We had 3 members man on it. Like I say, love the Great Western. Don't love it would be, in every way, it would be the ideal railway. It ticks so many of my boxes. I love the livery, the style, everything about the company basically on the aesthetic front and how things were done. The sound the engines make, the whistle, from the whistles to the hydrostatic lubricator that makes the ticking noise as they go along. Yeah, everything. Great Western, absolutely adore it. And this is why I've got such a large Great Western collection compared to everything else. The only downside is there's such a strong family feel that on a model railway the variation is very minimal. You get a pannier to a prairie, different. And as soon as you hit the tender engines, it's only the wheels that change, the amount of wheels that tends to change. And, some of them have a window in the side of the cab. And as I say, not criticising, I think they're amazing. Absolutely amazing. Just aesthetically on a layout, I know that's not going to work for me. So it has to be one of the other big four. The big four is the best area for me to do. I know I purchased some SECR recently, but really looking at it sensibly, Big Four allows for anything pre-grouping that's being produced to run that lasted through to the Big Four company, but also I'm doing the era that I am most familiar with because it's the one I've always wanted to try to do, so I'll learn more about that now. And I've always tried to resist doing the British Rail era where possible. I prefer the railways and had a bit more individuality, as it were. So, yeah. Yeah, variety is the key word. Now, I discounted the Southern because I like the Bully Pacifics. I like them rebuilt as well as unrebuilt, and I'd want them rebuilt as well as unrebuilt. And so, therefore, with my resisting doing British Rail, that was never going to be a starter. And also, there's so... People go on about the Great Western Branch Line layouts out there. How many Southern, BR era Southern region layouts are there out there? Yeah, there seems to be loads out there in a minute. And older as well, pre-grouping Southern era, southern side of the country layout. So, yeah, again, it'd be nice to see something different at home. And really, branch line wise, LNER or LMS both tick that box. They both can run the Great Western as well with them really easily, so that's not a worry. I get to use my Great Western collection. Yeah, it's just a case of now trying to decide. I don't know if we can do it. There's a way of doing it here and now. Deciding between that LMS or the LNER. Now, as I say, I'd have to basically, apart from the 04, build my collection from scratch for the LNER. With the LMS, I've got a decent start. But that's not a reason to choose a railway, I suppose. Just because you've got a lot of engines, otherwise I'll be doing Great Western, wouldn't I? Or, so it shows SCR dock rather than station. I just said you got something small for it, I suppose, yeah. That's fair, that's fair. Yeah. I'd like to, whichever wins, obviously I know it says BR London Midland region down here, or down here, it's over here, isn't it? But that was a moment of madness, ignore that. That will then say LNER or LMS.